Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be about life with a puppy and just some of the questions that you guys have asked. So whether you are about to get a puppy, don't knock it over. She's like, Mom, seriously? Oh my god, I feel like you guys need to see her right now. Oh my goodness. My baby. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So many of you have asked me about my precious little puppy. So I'm here today just to answer some of the questions that you guys have asked. Looking to get a puppy, or you just love my angel and you want to know everything about her? Cool, either way, keep watching. Okay, so I think trying to get her actually in this video might be impossible. Anyway, you'll just have to deal with me. But I wrote down some of the questions that you guys have been asking, and I don't know if you saw our first 24 hours with the puppy, and towards the end of the video, I think it was the next day, she started to get really sick. She ended up getting an upper respiratory infection, so it was kind of like similar to kennel cough, but much worse than that, and it was really scary. We didn't know if she was gonna make it. We were at the vet several times in just less than a week's time. And over the course of the next few weeks, we were constantly going back with her, and she had to go to the vet and be put on IVs. She had to get blood work taken, all these different tests, and she was not eating. She had lost weight when, you know, puppies are supposed to be gaining weight. So it was really, really scary. It was really tough. It was definitely an emotional week. But all that to say that she is completely better. She got put on different medicine that actually helped her. The first round of medicine actually made her worse, but she's completely better now. She is living her best life. She is an amazing puppy, and she is officially tomorrow 5 months old, which this is funny because you know how when people have babies and you're like, oh, how old's your baby? And they're like, oh, 67 weeks or something like that. Like maybe like, oh, 20 weeks, or I'm like, okay, can you do the math for me and just tell me in months, because my brain doesn't wrap around that quickly, you know? And this is a couple weeks after we got her, and we're walking the dog, and someone's like, oh my gosh, how old is she? I was like, she's 13 weeks. And Clark looked at me and was like, really? Let me go ahead and dive into some of the questions. I'll pop a little picture up here when she was little. Okay, so I'm not sure how much she weighs. I am so that dog mom right now. I'm like talking about her weight and how many weeks. Like, I'll get into some better stuff. Just give me a second. All right, a very popular question that people have been asking is, how is having a dog, and especially a dog that's gonna be a bigger dog, in a one-bedroom apartment, or just in an apartment in general? And we have a one-bedroom. It's tiny. Like, I couldn't do a cartwheel in here. I mean, I could, but I would be hitting something. So if that gives you a little idea. And that was one of the reasons that I didn't want to commit to getting a dog, because I'm like, that feels selfish. Like, if there's not a lot of space, it doesn't seem fair, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, it's been fine. And that kind of goes into when she was a puppy and potty training, and when she's fully potty trained now, she really caught on quickly. She had a couple pee accidents in the apartment. She's never pooped in the apartment. Knock on wood. She caught on to it pretty quickly. My camera just cut me off because the memory card was full, so back at it. What were we talking about? Potty training. So she now knows to ring the bell, because she'll go do it. Every time that we would go out, I would nudge her nose against it, give her a treat, and then walk outside. So she would connect the dots with, the bell gets rang, you go outside. And then I would say, potty. I feel like I can't say it because she's right there. she's fine. She like is completely living her life and does not care what I'm talking about. I also put the bell on the wall next to the door, and I just put a little nail and hung it up because I didn't want the bell on the door, and every time we open and shut it, it was like annoying. So that was my little trick. So a little hack for you, put the bell on the wall next to the door. But yes, in an apartment, potty training, is it ideal with a puppy trying to go up and down several flights of stairs? No. Or an elevator? No. But you know what? It's not the end of the world, and it's completely fine. Like, trust me, that was a fear, or that was just a concern that I had, but she's doing great. And it's just for a short period of time where you're constantly taking them out. Like, I took her out almost every 45 minutes, and then it would be an hour, and then I kind of expanded it. And now at 5 months old, she can go, sometimes it's 2 hours and then she'll need to go out. Sometimes it's 4 hours and she's fine. I think 4 hours might be, 4 or 5 might be the longest stretch that she's had, which is pretty long. As far as at night though, she holds it all night long. She's never had an accident in the middle of the night. So anyway, potty training has been going fantastic, and being in an apartment with a dog is fine. If you don't really want a dog, I feel like you can come up with excuses, or maybe it's not that you don't really want a dog, but you know, if you like to think things through, that's of course gonna be something you think about just like I did. So I get it, I feel you, but I'm here to tell you that honestly, it's been fine. Okay, talking about puppy training, this kind of leads into crate training, and that word might be a trigger for her. Because she was sick right at the beginning, I don't know if that made her do well in the crate or made her not cry, or maybe she was used to, I don't know. But she has been fantastic from the first night that we got her. We put her in there and she never made a peep. And then that continued on. You know, you hear these stories that when you get a puppy that, oh, just beware, you're not gonna sleep the first week or whatever it is because they're gonna be screaming and crying in their crate. And we did not have that experience. Luckily, I mean, I literally can't believe it, but we never had that problem. She has slept through the night. Every single night that we've had her, she has not cried. She started to do a thing where we put her in and she would whimper maybe once or twice, like I'm not exaggerating, like no more than 10 to 20 seconds, and then she was out. She never howled or cried or barked in her crate, ever. She's never done that. So she's just an angel, but I know that's not always the case. So yes, she is crate trained. However, at night, we have now started to let her sleep in bed with us, and we tested it out and she did really great, because there's stuff in the bedroom that I was afraid she was gonna get into, which she still does from time to time. We're teaching her not to do that, and she's been better. There are certain things that we've had to like pick up or get out of the room just in case we're sleeping and she gets into something, but she's a really hard sleeper. I feel like she loves her sleep, so she basically gets up whenever we do, and it's been really great. She'll be on the bed for some portion of the night, and then she'll get down and be on the rug or on the carpet, and then she'll hop back up. She kind of is all over, but she doesn't wake us up. She doesn't cry. Even in the morning, like if she needs to go out, like she does not cry, and she's never had an accident in the bedroom. So we're good, because I've always wanted her to be like sleeping with us. I don't want to have her in the crate. Like I miss her when she's in the crate, but we did train her first in the crate so that now when we do put her in there, it's not this foreign thing and she freaks out. She still does well in it. We do put her in the crate when we're eating dinner, because she still doesn't know boundaries really well with when we're eating. She's like all up in our business. So we've been teaching her like, you go in your crate when we eat, and that's when she'll kind of whimper a little bit. And as soon as we're done, we let her out. We want the crate to be a place that is not where she's punished and not where fear and anxiety is created. So you're never supposed to put a really hyper energetic dog in to a crate. And then that kind of leads to the next thing, is that I've started to leave her on her own in the apartment while I'm gone. And I've tested it out to first, like, go get the mail, come back and just see if the dirt from my plants are just everywhere, but it has not happened. Knock on wood. She's been doing so well, so I extended it a little bit. I would go to the grocery store and come back, so it was like an hour or so, and the last time I left her was around 3 hours, and I came home to nothing wrong. So I make sure I shut the bedroom door, I shut the bathroom door, and just let her in the kitchen, the living room area, and she's been fine. I make sure that there's toys out. You want to be careful of like what is left out, but we've already established the boundaries, the things that she's not allowed to touch and what she can touch. So I think she has a good grasp on that, which took about, we've had her, a little bit over 2 months. So we just recently have been starting to let her roam around. So far she's been doing good. I make sure that she's tired before I leave. So I make sure I take her outside and play with her, or take her on a walk, so that she's not high energy when she's in here and gets herself in trouble by being bored and chewing on something she's not supposed to. That kind of leads into the next thing as far as her energy levels. She does this most of the day. She gets a walk first thing in the morning, and then another walk either in the afternoon if it's not too hot out, or in the evening after we've had dinner or something like that. So 2 long walks a day is kind of the standard. Sometimes she'll go on 3, and then that's also with playing with her outside and stuff like that. She's really chill. Like, her temperament is like super low key. If she gets hyper, she'll start to maybe get into something immediately. I just take her out and I'm like, let's play, let's get the energy out. And then as soon as we come back in, she's fine and she sleeps like this. And I know she's a puppy. Puppies sleep a lot. When your puppy or your dog has high energy, they're not trying to be bad. They just are by nature living their lives and are needing to get out energy. So you need to let them run or play or walk them or whatever. She does get hyper at night. That's been her thing. So that's been kind of one of the cons. I'm like, I try to wear her out during the day, but I'm not gonna wake her up to go like take her out. You know, I try to do my part when she's awake. But at like 10, 11 o'clock, she's hyper and we're like ready to go to bed at this point. And she is just like, let's play. I need to go on a walk. I wanna run, like, She gets kind of crazy, but it's just cute. Okay, what food does she eat? And is she plant-based? Which I get this question a lot, and the answer is no, she's not a vegan dog. Do I want her to be? Maybe. However, in nature, in the way that, oh my gosh. You're so beautiful. The way dogs are built, I believe, are different than humans, so I feel okay giving her the food that she eats. It's a salmon-based food. I want 1 protein to be in her food instead of multiple proteins, because that can be really unhealthy when you're trying to digest multiple proteins. That's for humans and for animals. So the food that she has, it's all natural, it's organic, it's holistic. I'll go ahead and I'll show you that. All right, so this is the food. It is by Earthborn Holistic and it's unrefined. So this has ancient grains and superfoods. Obviously you can read that. And this is okay for puppies. We transitioned her off of her puppy food into this, sprinkled it in, and then did 50-50, and then more of this, less of the puppy, and now she's fully on this at 5 months old. This tells you, you know, the little chart as far as like how much to give your dog or your puppy, so it is definitely okay to have for puppies. It lists all the stuff that it does not have in it, and it lists all the stuff that it does have. I feel good with this brand. I know that it's good for her. There's different things you hear about the grain versus grain-free and all that kind of stuff. Is it okay depending on the breed? And I've read a lot of different things about it, and for my decision right now, I feel good about what she's consuming. I feel good about the ingredients, the quality of it. Will I switch her to a plant-based food? Maybe. You can get all of your protein through a plant-based diet. Maybe I'll have an update on that. I haven't found the one that I would want to use yet. Everyone's gonna have their own opinion about that, and that's fine. That's why I get to do me, you get to do you. Yes, we can all learn from each other, but don't criticize my decisions. Okay, another question. Sorry, I'm taking forever. What treats do I give her? So we don't give her a lot of treats. Cheerios are amazing. We get her the Cheerios from Trader Joe's. I feel like it can be unhealthy to be giving dogs a lot of treats, especially when you're training and doing tricks and stuff like that. It can end up being like a lot, and if the quality of the treats are not great, that just like makes me uncomfortable. So I'm cool with her having some Cheerios. I feel like I can give her more of those and it's fine. Yes, I know they're processed, but I don't know. In my head, it just makes sense to give her Cheerios when we're training her. The other treats that we give her, it's dehydrated sweet potatoes, literally the only ingredient, and they look like little rawhides, which rawhides are not good for your animal. Please don't give your dog rawhides. That's kind of what it looks like. It's just a dehydrated sweet potato, no other ingredients, which I have a dehydrator. I could do it myself, but hashtag convenience. Those are the only treats that she has, the sweet potatoes and then the Cheerios. Is she fixed? So no, she's not fixed. She's 5 months old, and again, everyone might have a different opinion about this. From what I have researched and what I've been told by our vet is that with her breed being a golden retriever, that she should not be spayed early and to wait until she goes into heat for the first time or to at least wait around 10 to 12 months because you want her hormones to be able to develop enough before she gets fixed, because long term that can affect her health. So basically saying if she gets fixed too early, that can actually develop different cancers and stuff as she's older because her hormones didn't fully get to develop. So that's what we're doing. We are not breeding her. Is she good with people and other dogs? Yes. Well, first of all, golden retrievers are like the best family dogs ever. We made sure to socialize her as much as possible, which was kind of challenging at first because she was sick. She wasn't fully vaccinated yet, so with those factors, we had to wait before she was allowed to go around other dogs. And then also with social distancing and everything, so that was kind of challenging. We have a little courtyard in our apartment complex that's gated, and the dogs get to just run around and play with each other. She plays with all different kinds of dogs and all different ages of dogs, which is good because I think socializing them around a lot of dogs from the beginning is really important, especially that 3 to 5 month age. That's when they learn a lot in that time frame. So that's been really, really good. She does great with other dogs. Other dogs are good because they teach the puppy lessons. You know, you want to be careful to make sure they're not being too rough and stuff. It helps her learn her boundaries. What is annoying to a dog might not be annoying to another dog. So she's kind of learning all of that. But the older dogs will definitely teach puppies, which has been really nice for her to be around. So yeah, if we're trying to teach her not to jump at people or on people, that is something she does not have down yet. Yeah, working on that. So if you have a tip, leave it in the comments and let me know how to get my dog to stop jumping on people. Does she chew? Yes, she does. First of all, she's a puppy and she's a retriever, and I feel like they just like to chew things. However, she is doing so much better, hence we're able to leave her in the apartment now and she's okay. When she was really little, she did love to chew on the legs of the coffee table or on the couch or the chair or whatever, but she has now learned her boundaries. We did get that bitter spray, and I don't feel like that really affected her that much. Just telling her no and teaching her like what is okay and what is not okay, replacing it with a toy, that has seemed to work. And it's funny because at a certain point when you have a puppy, you're like, when are they ever gonna grow out of this? Or like, is my life ever gonna be not getting my dog to chew on something? Or like, I'm yelling at my dog all the time, like what is going on? There is light at the end of the tunnel. They will stop doing the things that they're not supposed to be doing. She definitely is learning really, really fast. She's so smart. So smart. One thing that we have been using is that spray, the what's it called? Basically, it's just a spray that is air and it just makes a sound. So when they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, in the act of them doing that is when you spray it, and then it's like it startles them and it makes them stop. And then you can also associate it with no, so they understand what the word no means, because dogs don't speak English. They don't know. You have to teach them the words. We do not hit our dog. I just don't think that's cool, and I'm not doing that to my dog. And to show like aggression and anger towards a dog, I think you'll get that back, you know, in return, and that's kind of what you're teaching your dogs. I think there are different forms of discipline. I sound like such a dog mom. So if you are on the fence about getting a dog, because a lot of you have messaged me who are on the fence about it and like, I really want a dog, but I don't know. I can say through my experience, I was in the same exact boat, but it all worked out. I have the time to be with her. I have the time to train her, which has been amazing. It's honestly been so great. So if you are considering getting a dog and just kind of on the fence and don't know, my advice would be to evaluate your lifestyle right now during this time, and then also kind of what your normal is and life long term, and just kind of see where you're at with that. Are you going to be going back to work and you're not going to be home with the dog all day long, or whatever it is? Just kind of think about that and don't make just an emotional decision. Really think it out, because you don't want to make a decision that is just going to have the dog suffer long term. You know, having a dog is a really big commitment. You want to evaluate your life just to make sure that it's the right decision for you, but then also the right decision for the dog. You have to think about what it is financially, and then the time commitment. You have to really think about the time commitment, especially in the first several weeks of training a puppy. You know, if you get an older dog, maybe that's gonna be a little bit different. Know that it's a time commitment and there's sacrifice with it. But I can honestly say that it was the best decision that we ever made. The stars all aligned, and I really do think that this was the perfect time for us. And even if it's not the perfect time for you, you know, when is it ever really the perfect time? You do what you need to do to make it work. If you want something in your life, you just gotta do it. I will say, I do not understand how people have children and puppies, like, especially like little babies, and puppies. How do people do that? You guys need awards and ribbons because that is unreal. Having a puppy is a lot, and having a child is so much more. So I can't even wrap my mind around how people do both of those things at the same time. Like, what? So yeah, if you have a little baby and you have a puppy, I don't know, get yourself on a prayer chain because Lord knows that you need all the prayers, and my heart goes out to you. Sit. Yes, good girl. Mommy kisses. Thank you. Shake. Thank you. Lay down. Good girl. Play dead. Yes, good girl. That's a good baby. Yes, it's a good girl. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope that this answered some of the questions that you have. And if you have any other questions about having a puppy, then please put them in the comments and let me know. I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Can Mommy have kisses? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye.